Assalamu alaikum, my name is Redwan Bokhari, and today I'm reviewing a special book that I read a year ago, which is Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese is a 94 pages book that is made by Dr. Spencer Johnson, and it talks about how to deal with the life changes that happens to everyone. And I'm gonna start it with two expressions by the readers that was on the sixth page on the book. First one, Guam Banks said, I can see myself reading this wonderful story to my children and wife so they can take the lesson in this important pages. And the second one was Sally Grumbles, who said, Who Moved My Cheese will be used throughout our training because it creates a language to discuss risk and changes on a lighter note. The messages is clear and the characters in the book can be found in all distros. So as they said, we all can know how helpful the book is, especially for the people that have a lot of changes in their life in these days. So Who Moved My Cheese is simple, understandable roadmap for each of us to use as we deal with our individual life change. Half of the book was a story, so you can just enjoy the story and take the benefit while understanding it. So the story was about change that takes place in a maze, where four amusing characters look for a cheese. Cheese is being a metaphor for what we want in a life. Each of us has its own idea for what cheese is. Me personally, I want a job, so cheese is a job for me. And when it comes to the maze, and the story represents where you spend the time looking for what you want. So me, I study and I spend time at the school so I can get the job that I want. And now on the biggest section on the book, which is the story. The story was written for all ages and it just take like an hour to read the whole book, but I'll summarize it for you. So once there was four little characters who run through a maze looking for a cheese to make them happy. Two of them were mices named Sniff and Scurry, and the other two was a little people that was small as the mices. So the little people was looked and act like just like a normal people in these days. And their names was Him and How. So they were trying to find cheese as we said, so every day they woke up and spent the rest of the day trying to find cheese on the maze. So let's talk about the maze for a bit. Every maze has a lot of sections, and every section may contain a cheese and may not. And some sections were so dark so you just easily get lost in it. So yeah, it was hard for them to wake up every morning and put on the suit and just run to finally find nothing on the station. But they just have to do it to find cheese. So Ham and How and the mice just continued the same hard routine that you have to wake up every day and dress up the running suit and just run, just run. And after all that hard time, one day Ham and How regarded the cheese thing that they wanted. They just found such a large store with a lot of cheese. After they saw that, they eventually moved their homes to be closer to it. So they were happy and comfy, so having a cheese makes you always happy. And the store contained an endless cheese, so no matter how cheese you take from it, it just won't end. So on the other side, Sniff and Scary just found out about this station that has an endless cheese, and they were all living it. And yeah, that was what they was hoping for when they was searching on the maze. So all of them lived at that station for such a long time, and they even put their suits and gears on a wardrobe and barely forgot about it. So you can imagine how long was it. So after all that time, one day him and Hal arrived at the store wanting to get some cheese. But boy, they were unprepared for what they're gonna see. It was just an empty place, like it was like cheeseless. It was cheeseless station. So of course they were just in shock and disbelief because cheese was so important for them. So those two, him and Hal, spent a long time trying to decide what to do. So all they could do was keep looking around the cheeseless station, but the cheese is gone. So while they was looking around, the mice knew about that and they just instantly just run to find another station. Like they doesn't care, they're rats, they're mice. So the mice just moved on, but the other two guy was depressed. They were just too lazy to get back to the old routine. So after a few days, they were so hungry and they needed the cheese. So Ham just went to get his gear on. But not how. How rejected to do that. Like he was so lazy and he won't do that. So at the end, the mice moved on so quickly, and Ham was hardly moved on, and he got back to his old life routine, tired and break. But How haven't moved on, and it's over for him. So right here the story ends, but I will explain some expressions around the book. So page 13 said, having cheese makes you always happy. So that was I said before, cheese is a thing you want, like having a job makes you happy. Page 52 said, smell the cheese often so you can know when it's getting old. So the meaning of that, when you got a cheese, which is the job for me, try to expect in doing another businesses so you can move on with your job. Page number 67 said, imagining myself enjoying a new cheese even before I find it leads me to it. Imagining yourself enjoying a new cheese even before you find it is just the same as imagining yourself on a new job or business, so it makes losing your current job a motivation. So just think about it. If you have a job and you always think about some sort of business, if you lose your job, it's a motivation so you can start the business that you always thought of. Page number 83 said, when you move beyond your fear, you feel free. So fear makes you limited, just like Ham on the story, if you remember. He was so scared to get back to his old routine, but when he went through it, he just felt free. He felt free, not just like How. How just stayed in his fears and he's over. So just like that, that's the end of the book. We just went through 94 pages just in this few minutes. So I'm just gonna end it with the benefit of the story, which is life changes happens to everyone. So just be like the mice and quickly move on. And don't be like How and keep blaming the life and just move on, bro. And you can be better than all of them and expect the changes and work for it. So let's take Banderita as an example. He have 3 companies and he's a YouTuber. So if his YouTube dies, he have his own company, so he's good. And that was Who Moved My Cheese. Thank you for everyone that's still watching until right now. And thank you to the Dr. Spencer Johnson for this beautiful book. And thank you, Teacher Booker.